Those are the kind of Friday vibes that we are bringing to you right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Why? Because finally we have on the couch a Nigerian record producer, sound engineer, the amazing Chisom Obinna Onye.
Yeah, thank you so much.
He is known as JaySynths. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I almost feel like as you enter the set now, your sound will just be moving with you. Like,
it's actually moving, you know.
It is.
Like
But that is an art.
Yeah.
It's an art. Creating a sound that makes people bump to it, makes people move no matter what you do. It feels like something that you can't really learn in school.
Yeah, exactly. But you can also learn in school too.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
You need to let us in.
But another side is, you know, some people came with it. So some people were born with it. So it's how you nurture it, how you put your skill into, you know, what you're doing. So that's when I'll feel like, okay, school probably took part of it, but you know, the experiences you have and the things you were watching, the books, the influences, then also YouTube was there too to help most of us, to guide most of us.
Okay, now there's YouTube University.
University of YouTube, yeah.
But any mentorship from any producers up there that maybe you looked up to or you tried to?
Yeah, but probably hearing your sound, you know, and people like Wale Oni, Mastercraft, Gospel on the Beat.
Yeah.
You know, I listen to those guys, you know, while learning, you know what I mean?
There's a lot involved in putting together sounds, a lot of use of instruments, and of course there's some crazy software these days.
Exactly.
What software are you in?
No, I use Logic Pro.
Logic Pro?
Yeah, Logic Pro X.
Okay, so I'm an FL Studio kind of girl.
I know.
So I understand how those things work, but it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you have to be in a particular space. How do you put yourself in that space?
Putting myself in the space while I'm trying to work on a project is, you know, first, sometimes you don't get a vibe. Sometimes you need some level of push to do some certain things when you're making a project. But I just go into the studio, you know, sometimes I just ask the Holy Spirit to help me out.
Wow.
So there, before you know it, I can just come up with something very good, you know what I mean? So it's more of the vibe, it's more of the space and the kind of mood you have at that moment. So it depends on what mood you have, basically, yeah.
So now I know that a lot of producers create sounds and just have them in a bank. They have them stored somewhere.
Yeah, we have beats stored, we have projects stored, you know, that's part of it. You know, you keep working every day.
But then there's some artists that could take your beats and then you're like, what's this one singing? This one is probably messing up the flow I created. Have you ever felt like that on any particular?
I feel like any artist that jumps on a beat, and whichever way you delivered it, that's actually the way the vibe came to you. So it depends on what you do after. So if the vibe wasn't really sitting, you need to walk. You need to walk behind the scene. You need to go work to be able to, you know, prepare yourself for the next beat.
So now let's talk a bit about these artists. Let's talk about some of the artists you've put together beats for and how they react whenever they jump on a beat. Talk to us about the funniest you can remember.
The first time I met Tenny. Met Tenny. She came into Nigeria, so she went for a show. So from the show, she told the driver to bring her to my house. So when she came to my house, that was the first time I met her. But the music was playing upstairs. I was in the studio when she came, so she heard the beat. Then she didn't even, there was no pleasantry exchange, there's no, my guy Alpha now, and something like that. She just told me that she wants to go and record, I should record her. So that's how we went to the studio. We started recording lots of songs and then. So it was fire. That was my first time actually meeting her. And
you had never met her before?
Yeah, she was just freestyling on lots of beats, so she wasn't penning down any lyrics.
Wow.
So it was wow to me. I was like, this one is actually, this one is super talented, you know.
The amazing Tenny there. And we're seeing her walking the streets of VI there on that particular beat. Let's talk Ojapiano though. You know, the whole Amapiano, Ojapiano thing. There's been a lot of back and forth about who, in quote, owns the vibe. Let's talk about this particular track. It's really hitting all over the world right now. When was this created and what was the whole idea behind it?
Yeah, it was created. I met Kcee April. Kcee introduced me to Kcee. So the first song you heard, Doom Doom, was the first song we actually did.
Okay.
So, you know, meeting Kcee for the first time, he didn't actually, he just met me and told me that this is 10th year of Limpopo, that I'm going to give him another hit. So he spoke that word and I actually grabbed it. I told him, we're going to make hits. So the first one was Doom Doom, then the second one was Ojapiano. So he told me after Doom Doom that he has this crazy idea if I can put it together.
Wow.
I was like, okay, tell me. He said he wants to put an Oja, the flute, on an Amapiano's vibe.
Wow.
That was his intention. So when he told me, I'm like, okay, it sounds fun. It sounds like something crazy, but let's see how we can do it. So he brought in some guys from the East
that actually play the.
Yeah, so they came to play for E-Money. He had like an event.
Yeah.
So after that, Kcee now brought them to the apartment where we were recording. And lots of them gave us their flutes and their melodies. So it was my turn. He told me to go home and do something.
Wow.
Weeks. Wow. I couldn't come up with anything because I was thinking, how am I going to do this? Because basically some of them, the Oja really doesn't have much suffer notes.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful in trying to, play a progression on it. So that's how, and I kept telling Kcee that I'm actually working on it. I was telling Kcee that I'm actually.
But you hadn't touched it?
But I hadn't started anything.
Wow.
So Kcee called me one night and said,
guy.
that was like around 12 a.m. He told me he's not sleeping. Since I've started working on it, I should send him something.
Wow.
I was like, Kcee, don't catch me here. So I had to run into the studio that night. So I started trying to create. So I started cutting out some of the melodies. So I was doing cut and join to those melodies just to get a perfect melody. Then I applied my progression, and I tried a couple.
Yeah.
But the last one was actually going. So I sent him 1 minute of it, and I told him, we'll build from here. So waking up to the news of, I love this, let's go. So
beautiful.
Give me more.
I have to take it from there because the flute itself is the sound we hear in the average Nigerian movie. Right? In the village, a village setting, right? But then you now bring on the Ojapiano urban, or rather the Amapiano urban sound, and mix the two. I feel like it was really, really a stroke of genius how you put it together. Even if it was just a 1 minute of the flute that you used probably in the entire song. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I get what you
mean. But it just works, and people are vibing to it, and we are definitely
crazy. Crazy. So because I remember when I finished the beat, it was time to record the song. We were playing the beats. The vibe wasn't coming. We were just enjoying the music.
Wow.
From morning till night. So we're not getting tired of the music. So our ears were still alive listening to that music. So that's when we knew there was something about it. So we had to now, he had to take some time out to come and record the song. So it took us like about 3 days after the beat, we were just going back and forth. And he came with the vibe. So that's how the song came about.
All right, I feel like there's a lot more that we could talk about. I've been having a swell conversation with the amazing JaySynths. And if you don't know who this is, the originating producer of the Ojapiano sound. Of course, there are other sounds he's put together as well for movies like Shantytown and the likes. It's great to have you right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Now, we've already started a conversation as to how this sound was put together.
Yeah.
But then again, it does feel like there are a lot of good sounds out there, a lot of good tracks, but there's some, mistakes that some of our artists are making that might not be pushing things forward as quickly as they should be. What are your views on how the industry is moving and where it's going?
The music industry right now is, I think where we are right now is a good space. Yeah, we're actually in a good space right now. So everyone is paying attention, basically.
Yeah.
So, but the more attentions are on the artist. Okay. Yeah, but they take less attention from the producers, the creators, the ones that were behind the full production of the song. Yeah. So there's another mistake I've actually noticed, and I feel we should actually correct this as soon as possible. When you go to Spotify is, I feel like, is where some of the big companies come and check out what you do. See the numbers, you see your numbers, they can see all the credits right there. So I feel like they should be putting the producer's name right there on the credits. Some songs, big songs, check the credits. You won't find the producer's name. So like that's actually a very big mistake. So sometimes that's what we use to get some of the deals we actually do get, you know, as producers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I feel like they should actually pull more attention on that.
The producers.
Producers pull their names. Whether you're a songwriter, whether as a producer, I'm also a songwriter. I'm also a writer.
Yeah.
So put my name on the writer space. You know, put my name on the composer space as well. So this will go a long way. You know, getting most of us the recognition we actually deserve. You know what I mean?
I actually think, you know, producers like David Guetta and you know, the like abroad had to sort of put themselves in the limelight with the artists because of this same issue you're talking about. And I think it does have a lot to do with how the artists believe, you know, how they believe that the producers should be showcased. But does it feel like maybe they're trying to keep their secrets in their back pocket?
No.
So that other artists don't?
No, not at all. It's okay. You can people, and some producers are doing it now. You can see Rexy. Rexy is doing it perfectly well.
Yeah.
He's
Young John as well.
Young John has transitioned from a producer to an artist.
Yeah.
Not just a producer artist. So he's like a full artist right now.
Yeah.
Feels full artist. So people like SARS as well, Mastercraft. These guys are doing producer artist project. You know what I mean? So we are trying to put ourselves out there too and be like, okay, we can actually do these things too. You know, so I feel like the industry is actually going the right space.
All right.
And it's going to stay there for long.
So new projects you're working on, any that you can let us in on? Let us know.
Of course, I've been working on a lot. I've been working with CK. I've been working with Fino.
CK?
Yeah, I've been working with Fino. I have some stuff with Skills. A couple of them. Then I have a movie project to come in.
Okay.
So it's a big year.
Yeah.
And we've just started. So
I
know it's going to cross into other years. You know what I mean?
So I would love to check out some more of your amazing sound, the amazing JaySynths in the building, and we're going to be heading to the